day, another day in Los Angeles, kind of, sort of, well, close enough. I'm having a terrible day. I'm having a terrible day because I have I have options. I put it off and I put it off and I put it off, and now I I have options. I have options not to live here, to go be happy studying magic across the entire fucking European continent. or or I could stay in America, and it just hurts to say it. It hurts. I have my PTSD from the sexual trauma, and every day it's just so draining, so draining to just do normal things like a Starbucks, and it's just draining. And I have to talk about my experience at Starbucks today because once again, professional celebrity asshole. I'll go into Starbucks and I complain because the last time I was there, I ordered an energy refresher and it just didn't have that zing. It didn't have enough caffeine. Blah 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 blah. And so I went off on this poor employee, and she's like, okay, yeah, and she squirted at least 4 or 5 into the cup, and it was supposed to be just like an extra refresher. But I complained and said, I'm just not feeling it. I'm just not feeling it. And so I get my meal and I head back, and I got, it's a lovely size. I got a grande. Yes, it's definitely a grande. So I take a sip of it. It's good. It's tasty. It's everything. And then the caffeine just ran through me. Just ran through me. And I will not be graphic. I will not be graphic. You don't need to see the pictures. Jackson Pollock, the great painter. If you look up Jackson Pollock and his art style, you'll get the visual I'm trying to paint for you. You'll get it. You'll get it. He gets it. All right. So that happens, and then I also have this internal crisis of consciousness that I asked for more caffeine, but I don't need to be hyper alert for anything anymore. I'm disabled, I'm retired. the- Life is hysterical. I hate that. I hate that. I waited all my life. I can't do that. Okay, I can't do that. Okay, so I waited very long for my fucking benefits. Now that I have them, it's a house is a good deal and it's not a good deal at the same exact time. When you build a house or when you buy a house or even when you get a mortgage for a house, you are plugging yourself into the system. You're plugging yourself into the ground. Sure, there are several opportunities if you want to take them to make a difference. You could be that person. I would definitely be that person who says, we'll clean the streets, we'll restore health, we'll increase safety in the neighborhood. Because I'm just not that kind of person who says, I want to move to an area and just not be involved. And I know that all my veteran spidey senses are pretty much saying, build your fucking bunga like the rest of us and ignore that America is on fire and burning and the people are in pain all the time. And they need heroes. They need heroes. But most veterans, and I'm not judging you, I'm trying not to judge you because you are me in a way. We're of the mindset of we've given enough, which is why we're veterans, which is why we're disabled. But then I look at places around America and also in Europe where it's about to be summer, it's close enough to summer that the elderly, the young, and some regular adults who just did not hydrate properly, they just fall down completely exhausted because of the heat. Because the air is going to be above 35 degrees Celsius, above 100. And there's a completion time that they want, not going to hydrate properly. And you have a system that people think the money is always worth more than your health or safety. And that's something that we never discuss on a global scale because we like to talk about global warming. We don't talk about people. We don't we don't talk about the people. We say global warming, we don't say people are affected by it. We don't have a term for it yet. Maybe we should have a term for it. But more than just the heat, it's the pollution. There are people who go about their day. They just think paycheck to paycheck. When's the next time we go to the pub? When's the next time we go to the bar? When's the next time we go to the club? You know, when can I go home? When can I go home? There's no time, there's no space in the life to talk about the air, how the air is polluted, how every car, every truck, every lorry, every industry across the entire globe is contributing to the final solution against its own people. No one has the time to discuss it. Nobody has the time to say it's wrong. Nobody has the time to tell the United Nations you have to do something. So here I am, the path to Europe, to the entire globe, pretty much. And I just don't want. What's the point? What is the point of being born an American if you don't live my entire life, but yet still try to save them? Also, Germans are working on teleportation. I think I'd better. So it kind of behooves me to stand somewhere. But I just hate it here. I literally hate it here. I'm absolutely miserable. Absolutely miserable. When I know that as much as I'm more qualified to speak on teleportation, the Indian side of said, do we really need to push things from one end of the earth to the another? Maybe localizing everything will solve a lot of issues. The internet is terrible. I don't know why the internet is terrible. So if the mess is a little garbled, I don't know what to say. Will I go to another location? It's gonna be like that because this is something that you can discuss in the town square, while people look at a phone and say, "I've got to go to Turk. I've got to go to an appointment, or just I gotta go." The United States and other countries just in most parts unlivable. Habitable for maybe short durations, but people expose themselves to chemicals for far longer than they should. Who speaks them? Because the United Nations does a lot of sessions, they don't talk about this in the human cost. Because if they did, they act. I mean, doesn't do something. I'm miserable. I really am. Because while everything was difficult, it was difficult. It's either stay here and fight, or maybe people might listen, mate. When it comes to climate change, when it comes to science, when it comes to just basic planning, we ignore. And it takes wisdom and clarity in order to see something like that. Of the questions that have been coming up in the universe have been, do you think the US needs monarchy? And the answer is America has monarchies. It has several kings of America. You might call them something different. You might call them captain of an industry. You might call them a musician, a politician. There are many ways to build power, but people build power here. Some use it just to continue doing concerts, and some people, try to make a change where they can. But if you recognize it as such, if you recognize it as kingdom, I say it, but it's the best. A question came up today that, do you think racial gerrymandering, I can say the word, gerrymand, gerrymandering, um, whatever. When you redistrict the people of color, you get the white people out, you put the people over there. What it is, they say it's, no, is that wrong? Is that unjust? Isn't it? Isn't. You want people to come to a senses about how they want to live their lives and what they see community as. Some people see their community as a rubbish pile where you just chuck anything. Some people see the community as extremely precious. I don't think two people should be neighbors. Maybe one person's white person, this person is a different color. And I have, completely different views, and we'll never know one is which in this scenario. But why should people of the same race or different races not coordinate with their own people who share commonality in some cases? Well, we keep preaching equality and integration, but are we neglecting how much we need to elevate each other, especially within our communities? Fill in the blanks in education, where people need to learn to be a bit more sometimes, and people of color to, learn why they should, that the benefits to that, and that maybe if you were in your own district, you would get that. But then it becomes who represents them now that they're there. And sometimes having someone who does live in that area, but maybe wasn't exposed to other areas, is not a good fit. But either way, it's a political system that needed a giant overhaul because it never includes you. You pray to your fucking politicians like it's trying to reach God or something like that. You don't say, I need to talk to my neighbor and say, I want to do this project. Do you want to see that project happen within neighborhood too? Yes or no? A direct conversation between two people share very intimate borders. That is what we need to do in America. We need to be able to say, how do you neighbor sometimes? And by the way, neighbor, in order to get things done. Because right now, everyone is on pure survival mode. I'm pure survival mode. I'm on survival mode for probably even before my military sexual trauma. But after that and the PTSD and losing my ability to work, losing my ability to be in public. I talk about the Amtrak incident, but we both are right. You know, we are right that sorry, they are right. It's even hard to come out of my mind. They are right that if you're on public conveyance, you're supposed to be quiet and respectful. But if you're being robbed or someone has their hand underneath your clothes, you're supposed to be loud. You're supposed to ask for help, which is what I did. And I was told by that white man that, oh, you carry around accusing people. I have video of that one with her hands underneath clothes. So what do you want to say? Amtrak has been silent on this. Silent. They refuse to comment. We are. I have PTSD, so if I spiral, just give me a moment. I want change in America. And the only way to see change in America is to be the change in America. Ah. It's hard for me because I don't feel like Americans really want to listen. I think for most of them, it's me do anything but live my life. Let me work myself to the bone. Let me rage in traffic. Let me obsess over how my way instead of living life. I'm not really. I'm from myself. I'm hiding. How might I want to be there in the world, making a difference? Because I know that's just going to come with more disappointing PTSD triggering events. And there's a part of it that just wants to shield myself from that. Part of the entire community that says, you suffered. Stop. But these people need help. I'm one of those people. I definitely want. I want American air to be clear of smog, and that's something that we can do within this generation. If we start talking to one another, if I gather courage to go outside bravely and talk about this as an issue, talk about how we need to accept we're changing. We're not the same people that need trucks more. Not the same trucks anyway. Do you think any young person wakes up saying, I want to be a truck driver? No. They fall through the cracks and the land on it. But they don't have to fall through the cracks. We have to whole education system because it's just not working out. I qualified to go back to school, but I just don't think that's the right way. I'm already an expert in the things that I need to be an expert in. If I'm not expert in it, I need to be humble enough to hire people or engage in conversation with people who are experts. That's how you get this done. I'm a theoretical physicist. I'm, not the best engineer. I can hire a good engineer and, make my theoretical physics into reality. That makes more sense. We start a conversation with television. I think we should probably return back to it. The line of supply I'm so fucking terrible at English. The line of supply and distribution have always been on multi-city, global scale, and it cost a lot. It cost too much, and we're not getting full benefit. The idea of teleportation, of understanding most things that need are a data stream instead of physical convenience of matter. It's crass. It's so crass. Do you need pizza from Italy, or could you just have Italian cuisine cooked in your own? Yeah. We talk about travel, and I did look up. I did look up, how much it is to take a plane go to Dublin, where I wanted to go, and it's expensive, but it's expensive way that it doesn't make sense to me because I mean, when I think about it, I want memory. I want the ability to breathe the fucking clean air. But isn't that here too? Don't they have trees here too? Don't they have rocks here? Hills? Just don't have the clean. It's not just a fantasy to do Irish step. Quite well. Quite well. I'm brilliant Irish stepping. And it's stood on America. They just appreciate the arts here. I mean, at least the president does because he's getting more room. Bang bang. Because he's the future that presidents will be younger. And they'll be breakdancing or they're going to twerk. Some president will actually twerk, and I think that would be an amazing to see. I'm part Brazilian, so a samba wouldn't be out of turn. But not running for because the president, the entire country, and that used to mean something. But that division that we have within us, within the United States, I almost see it serves a purpose. State blue states, you should be country in country. Commerce, at the very least. You'd have a better business partner and you have an vested interest and shared history, but maybe you would go in two completely different directions. Maybe the red states would be more invested in agriculture again and community, while the blue states could be invest in technology, entertainment, I don't know, a lot of things. That's kind of what we have already, but if you said out loud and made it, you just made it into reality, it would, it would just make more sense. It would make more sense than tipping around things like, are you Republican but live in a Democratic area? Are you a Democrat and you're in the Republican area? That's touched on that gerrymandering, whatever bullshit, how it's called here, racial district danger mops, whatever you want to call it. But isn't that fucking brilliant idea? If you're a transgender person, where in the world are you still hanging out with people who hate you? There has been some talk of Laverne Cox playing Wonder Woman after Gal Gadot. No, why not? Personally, I would rather see her as Rogue because she'd have better lines. Also, I want her to snog at Charlie Hunnam as Gambit. No, I know. Channing Tatum his wonderful thing, but if he's not gonna kiss and Cox, if he's not willing to kiss Cox, then then I'm sorry. I think I would take Charlie Hunnam, who's already pretty proven that they make out with a dude. So Laverne Cox being a very beautiful woman would be a step up. No, it's to Littlefinger, who ate his ass. So, I tip my hat to you, man. I'll not let it go. I will not let it go. That, these two play fucking butcher fucking roles. And Americans are just like, oh, Littlefinger. I'm like, he's played it quite a few times. I mean, you get that, right? And you get that, right? It's like, yeah, I know. I mean, he's super muscular and he's fucking that woman and that woman and that woman and that woman and Sons of Anarchy. Oh, if you were only defined by one rule, how shallow would you be? How shallow? But those are some really good roles. Laverne Cox should definitely be a superheroine, because when you're queer, transgender, gay, lesbian, the supporting character. You're the one that has lines, but not really a storyline. They changed that with things like the Strawberries, where you're a bit more integrated. I guess have been getting better, but not in this. This would send a message because transgender people are incredibly strong. Nothing to diminish the strength of men, but trans people, they have emotional strength, they have physical strength in some cases, they have grace, they have endurance. Highlight that because it doesn't diminish you, it just inspires you to push harder. So, yeah, I want Laverne Brooks to be a superhero. I think we need LGBTQ superheroes. I believe a Luke said that. Luke Evans. Hmm. Playing wonderful on. I don't know. I read books, so just doesn't ring a bell. Whether or not I got him right. But he said that he wanted it and we're just not putting off gay people who are outly gay and I'd like to see I've given up on television and cinema. But I would just like to know it's out there. I know it would help. That's what life is right now for me. But life is a series of choices and the choice to abandon America for action adventure and maybe social justice and environmental justice. It's very it's very important as an ambassador. But there are LGBTQIA people here who need my help. So maybe some other time I have to make more effort to figure out I'm gonna fucking save America from civil war ruin. Because, kind of live here, have a small investment in making sure that things like Jennifer Lawrence will exist. So yeah, guess I have to come up with some sort of way to deal with talking to people again and not being freaked out if people walk near me instead of hiding in my house, which is what I'm going to probably do. but pain. So that was good too. I guess I'm never going to be a public speaker. I'll figure something out somehow. Either way, I'm emotionally dry. I have some deep thinking to do and go from there. So, my name is Ian Leona. I'm an environmentalist, a human rights activist. I'm a mute. I'm a web. Oh, it is 2 days, just about the full moon. I hope to see you on the next podcast.